Have you ever looked at a new business, run by someone who is so talented, so passionate, and just wondered why it failed? I mean, we're talking about incredible bakers, brilliant designers, mechanics who can fix literally anything. It just doesn't add up, right? They're experts at what they do. Well, let's get into it, because the answer is one of the most powerful ideas in business, and honestly, it might change how you think about your own work forever.
First, let's just get a handle on how big this problem really is. The numbers are, well, they're pretty brutal. Over 80% of small businesses close their doors within just the first 5 years. Think about that. That's 4 out of every 5 dreams that just fizzle out. It's a massive, staggering number.
So why? What is going on here? Is it not enough money? Bad marketing? Just plain old bad luck? And yeah, sure, those things can play a part. But Michael Gerber, the author of the legendary book The E-Myth, he argues the real reason is way, way deeper. He says it's a huge misunderstanding, a myth that traps people right from the very beginning.
And that big misunderstanding? He calls it the entrepreneurial myth. You can just call it the E-Myth. This one single idea explains why so many businesses aren't really businesses at all. They're just exhausting, low-paying jobs that the owners have accidentally created for themselves.
Okay, so here's the E-Myth in a nutshell. It's this super dangerous assumption that if you understand the technical work of a business, you automatically understand the business that does that work. It's believing that because you're a fantastic baker, you'll be a fantastic owner of a bakery. But as we're about to see, that little assumption, it can be fatal.
And Gerber just nails it with this quote. He says, "Most founders aren't true entrepreneurs. Nope, they're technicians suffering from an entrepreneurial seizure." You know the story. They get sick of their boss. They think, hey, I can do this way better myself. So they quit, but instead of starting a business, all they really do is create a new job for themselves. And it's usually one where they work harder, for way longer, and for a lot less money.
To really get why this happens, we have to look inside the mind of the person starting the business. Gerber says every single founder has these 3 competing personalities inside them. And the battle between these 3, well, that decides the fate of the entire business.
All right, so let's meet the team. First up, you've got the entrepreneur. This is the visionary, the dreamer, the one who's always thinking about the future. Then you've got the manager. This is the pragmatist, the one who wants order, plans, and systems. And finally, there's the technician, the doer, the hands-on expert who just loves the work itself. Now, the problem is, these 3 are almost never in balance. And here's what it looks like inside the head of most small business owners. The technician is just completely running the show. We're talking like 70% of their focus. The whole business becomes about doing the work, day in and day out. The entrepreneur's big dreams get pushed aside. The manager's need for order gets ignored. And all you're left with is chaos and burnout. The owner's completely trapped.
So, how do you get out of the technician's trap? It all comes down to the single most important mind shift in this whole philosophy. It's about understanding the huge difference between working in your business and working on it.
Think about it this way. When you're working in the business, you're basically an employee. You're baking the pies, you're fixing the cars, you're writing the code. But when you work on the business, you're the architect. You're the owner. You are building a system that can get results without you having to be there doing everything yourself. This is the actual path to freedom.
Okay, that sounds amazing, right? But how in the world do you actually do that? Well, Gerber gives us this incredibly powerful mental model to use as a guide. He calls it the franchise prototype. The idea is so simple, but it's a total game changer. From day one, build your business as if you were planning to create 5,000 perfect copies of it. This forces you to stop thinking like a technician who's always asking, how do I do this task? And start thinking like an entrepreneur who asks, how does my business do this task? It's a complete shift from doing to designing.
And this whole prototype idea is built on 3 key pillars. First is innovation, which just means you're always looking for a better way to do things for your customer. Then use quantification to measure everything, to prove that your new way is actually better. And finally, you have orchestration. This is the magic part. You write down that best way and you make it the standard operating procedure for everybody. No more guesswork.
So what does this all look like when you put it into practice? Because this isn't just a bunch of nice ideas, it's a real blueprint. It's a step-by-step process for turning that chaotic job you created into a smooth, well-oiled business machine.
And here's that blueprint. What's so brilliant about these 7 steps is that they work from the inside out. See how it doesn't start with marketing or operations? No, it starts with you.
It starts with your primary aim. What do you want from your life? Then you build a strategic objective for the business that actually serves that life. Only after that do you design all the systems for your people, your management, and your marketing. It completely flips the script. Instead of you serving the business, you build a business that is designed from the ground up to serve you.
And all of this leaves us with the one single question that every person who starts their own thing has to answer. Are you just building another job for yourself, one where you happen to be the boss? Or are you building a true business, an independent system that creates value for everyone, your customers, your employees, and you, whether you even show up that day or not? The difference between those two things is everything.